sir, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. I said guaranteed. Guaranteed to remove your warts. Guaranteed to cure orgy. Guaranteed to cure the lumbago. Guaranteed to cure rheumatiz. Guaranteed to cure the rattles. Why, this great elixir will even get rid of your saddle sores. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't asking you no $10. I ain't asking you no $5. No, sir, not that it ain't worth it. But I just promised my dear old daddy, old Doc Martin, that I'd fix a price on his great medicine that would fit the pocketbooks of everybody. So all I'm asking you is a meal.
Let's get out of here.
50. That's all, folks. Sale's over. Bye.
Here, get here. Here.
Oh, gotta hand it to you. Your ideas always pay off.
Like I keep telling you and the boys, just leave it to Dixie. Ha!
Like I always say, leave it to Dixie.
Hey, kid!
What you doing there, boy?
I tripped.
Well, it's no wonder, being so late and dark and all. Didn't hurt yourself, did you? That's good. A boy your age shouldn't be out this late anyhow. Now you run on home fast before I run you into the ranger station for being out past your bedtime. Hey, you forgot your things.
Dixie. Sam Dixie. There's no doubt about it. He turned the medicine man's wagon into an armed fort and shot up half the town, making his escape.
How much did he get away with?
5,000 this time. In the past 2 months, he's hit 11 banks to bring his total take to $60,000. Until we get him, there isn't a bank in Texas that's safe.
Except the bank he keeps his money in.
Unless he's banking out of state.
You two clowns finished?
Sorry about that, Captain.
Don't you worry, Captain. We'll get him all right.
I appreciate your determination, Reese, but the problem is finding Dixie and his men.
Yeah, you know, Reese, he doesn't hang out in the corner saloon in between robberies.
I know that. Now, I was thinking
That's your first mistake.
we could set a trap for him, dangle some bait in front of him to lure him out.
Sure, Reese, we could use your piggy bank and just kind of set it out somewhere.
Oh, very funny. If you fellas just use your head a little.
Which reminds me. Weren't you on patrol last night?
Uh-huh.
I don't suppose you noticed anybody breaking into Morgan's General Store.
Nope, Captain. Everything was just as peaceful as,
Paradise?
Yeah, as in... Oh, you. Captain, I didn't see a single thing, so help me. Not a blessed thing. Except that little boy. And I'll tell you, he couldn't empty out Morgan's store at his size.
Well, somebody did. You were on patrol. It's your case. Get moving.
But Captain, the Dixie gang. I'm supposed to go after them, not a bunch of tin horns who break into a general store.
The rights of a man who owns a general store are the same as the man who owns a bank.
Well, why don't you send Eric Hunter on it then, huh?
Eric's been on Dixie's trail for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, huh? Probably goofing someplace if I know him.
Well, that's my business, not yours. Now, you were on patrol last night. It's your case to clean up. Now, get moving.
Hey, Reese, you will lend us that piggy bank of yours, won't you, for the bait?
Dog, go to paradise. Chasing a bunch of tin horns. Throw some bird seed, some flour, and some junk. Waste, that's what it is. Waste of good manpower when I should be out looking for Dixie and his gang. Whoa, Cactus. Well, ha ha ha! So there it is. Ha ha! Ooh! Yeah! Ooh! Hey! Ooh! Ooh!
Birdseed? Fireworks? This thing, whatever it is. And this
Ew, fertilizer. Now, what'd you take that for?
I don't know. What do you want from me? I'm new at this stealing business.
Well, if you want to get any older, you get rid of that stuff here.
Sure looks more like we collected a pile of junk than the kind of loot your cousin gets.
We're getting experience, ain't we? When we meet up with my cousin, I want to show him we ain't no amateurs.
How do you know he'll let us join up with his gang?
I'm his only living kin, and he's my only kin. Besides, once we show him we make good outlaws, he's bound to take us in. Then we got ourselves a real future.
Sure hope so. At least you got a cousin. The rest of us ain't got no one.
What about him, Matt?
What about him?
Ain't we gonna give him something to eat? Heck, even the Rebs and the Yankees fed each other when they got taken prisoner.
Yeah. Come on. Hungry, mister?
Hungry? Me? After eating my innards out? Letting a bunch of little... Hey, come to think of it, I'm just starved. And it's downright considerate of you to share your food with me. Now, if you'll just untie my hands so I can...
Look, mister, we may be kids, but we ain't stupid. Feed him, Midge.
Feed me? Now, hold on. No midget nursemaid's gonna spoon feed Reese.
Mister, you want to eat or no?
Well, all right. Now, you kids see here. You don't realize the trouble you're in. I'm a Texas Ranger, and it could go...
Mr. Reese, you're dribbling.
I am not dribbling. And it's gonna go mighty rough on you, resisting arrest like this and kidnapping a law officer.
Sure is a noisy one, ain't he?
And a sloppy eater, too.
We gonna keep him with us, Matt?
You kidding? When Santa sees we caught a Texas Ranger, he's gonna be as proud of us as...
Proud, huh? That's what you think. Your folks find out what you've been up to.
Mister, if there's one thing we don't have to worry about, it's our folks.
What's that supposed to mean?
We ain't got any folks. We're orphans.
Orphans. How many times I gotta teach you, orphans only got one R in it.
What's the difference? I can't spell orphans anyway.
Well, now, if that ain't a fine howdy-do. You kids mean to tell me you ain't got no relatives at all?
Nope, not a living soul. Only one with any kin is Matt. He's got his cousin Sam.
Well, how in tarnation you been getting by there?
Handouts mainly, and sacking out wherever we could, long as no one ran us off.
And then we met up with Matt. He's showing us how to make out till we find his cousin.
Yeah, stealing and tying up rangers. Sure a fine way to make out. Just where do you think you're gonna go that way, huh?
We're doing all right. If anyone ain't going nowhere, it's you.
No, that ain't no right attitude, boy. You don't wanna grow up to be an outlaw, do you?
We sure do. Why do you think we're looking for Sam Dixie?
Dixie?
Matt's cousin. We're gonna join up with his gang. Ain't we, Matt?
Mm-hmm. Should catch up with him most any day now.
Well, now, that's just about the dumbest thing I ever did hear.
You through eating, mister?
Yes, I'm through eating, but I ain't through talking.
Yes, you are. You guys keep an eye on the prisoner. I'm going into Fremont.
Fremont?
Cousin's supposed to have a girlfriend there who owns a saloon. Figure she ought to know where Sam is.
Why me? All my girls are so much younger.
True, my dear. But the connoisseur always appreciates a good vintage.
My vintage?
Oh, dear Molly, if love be like the grapes of the vine, you are an excellent year.
Oh, I love the way you talk. I could listen to you all day. You make a woman feel like she ought to feel. Eric.
Hmm?
You don't have to go anywhere, do you?
Me? Leave? Oh, perish the thought. I am yours, madam, body and soul. There is one little thing you could do for me.
Like what, Eric?
Like introducing me to Sam Dixie.
Sam Dixie? Oh, I never heard of him. That is, I don't know him. Personally.
I didn't think so. The gentleman whose gang I wish to join would be too common for your taste. Too insensitive. Too coarse. Too cheap.
Oh, Sam Dixie's not cheap. Of course maybe, but he's not... You did that on purpose. Smart, huh? Real smart. Well, all Sam has to do is find out you were in my room.
Well, I doubt if he would exactly pat you on your little hand either.
You want something?
Name's Dixie. I'm Sam's cousin.
So you're Sam's cousin. What's that to me?
We're each other's only kin, and I'm trying to find him.
In my saloon.
I heard tell that the lady who owns the saloon was a friend of his.
Well, how do I know you're Sam's cousin?
Molly, I hardly think he's a Texas Ranger looking to arrest Dixie.
Well, Sam doesn't want anybody to know where he is. If he found out I told anybody...
Molly, he's only a boy. What harm could he do?
Now, you don't tell anybody where you got this, and you don't show it to nobody either, okay? Now, you go down the kitchen and you tell the cook, Molly said give you something to eat.
Why all the mystery? All I have to do is follow him to find Dixie myself.
Well, you could get picked off by one of Dixie's men along the way.
Well, what makes you think Sam Dixie came here to Fremont?
Don't. But he rode this direction out of Paradise.
That doesn't mean he came into town.
I didn't say he did I? Looks like as good a place as any to look. Besides, I could do with a decent meal for a change.
You insinuating my cooking's not any good?
Well, if you could shoot with it. Instead of eating it, Chad, it'd make a real powerful weapon.
Oh, now that's funny.
Whoa. Hey, that horse and saddle over there looks real familiar. Looks like our friend Eric Hunter's in town.
Well, now, aren't you the regular bloodhound? Did you happen to get a whiff of just where he might be in town?
Well, knowing Eric Hunter like I do, and knowing the women in this town like I do, Chad, I'd say he's probably holed up right over there at the Golden Horn Saloon.
Joe, your sense of deduction is paralleled only by your exquisite taste in women.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Sorry to kiss and run.
Hey, what's the rush there, friend? You trying to avoid us?
You know, you're acting downright unsocial. My feelings are hurt.
Kindly remove your hands from my mount, you roughnecks.
Rough? What happened to you, Hunter? Somebody kick you in the head?
Let go, I say.
Hey, what's going on here?
These two roughnecks are trying to bully me, sir. It's a fine day when a gentleman rides into town and has to contend with such riffraff who accost him on a public street.
Looks like our boy's undercover again, Chad. We better go along with it.
Yeah, looks like we made a mistake, Joe. Sorry about that, mister. We mistook you for a friend of ours.
A friend? I'll have you know I choose my friends with more discretion than that, my good man. Now, if I may be allowed to leave.
All right, boys, you've had your fun.
Joke's over, Sheriff. We're Texas Rangers. Believe it or not, so is he.
And those fancy duds? Sure he is. And I'm the King of England. Now, why don't you be good boys and come on over to the saloon and cool off with an ice-cold beer, huh?
Flip it, see you guys.
Let's go.
Bravo! Excellent. However, next time make sure it isn't a trap you're walking into. Who is that?
Prisoner we took. Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger? Well, I guess you're better at ambushing than I thought. It's a good job. There's no chance of him breaking loose.
You're the fellow that was up in Molly's room, ain't you?
Same one.
What are you following me for?
Well, I'm looking for Sam Dixie myself, and I figured we might find him together.
You a lawman?
Now, do I look like a lawman?
Never saw one dressed as fancy as that.
Never saw no outlaw dressed that fancy neither.
Well, I dress this way in town. It causes less suspicion.
Of being what?
You check with Molly. She'll tell you I'm all right.
Then how come she didn't tell you where to find my cousin?
Well, she was going to, but then she figured that as long as she told you, I might as well just follow you.
I don't know. Cousin Sam might not like my bringing you along.
Well, that is not for you to worry about. I'm sure that if your cousin doesn't approve of my presence, he'll take care of the situation properly.
Okay, but don't blame me for what happens.
Fine. Now, just where and when do we meet this illustrious cousin of yours?
You'll know when the time comes.
You certainly took your sweet time about getting around to me. I was beginning to think you had the mind of one of these 12-year-olds here, playing like you're a big bad man and all. Well, what are you waiting for? Come on, untie me.
Sorry, old friend. Can't do it.
You can't. Now, come on.
Shh. To wake everybody up. Kids that age need their sleep.
Well, I need my hands untied. Now, come on. We'll round up the kids and get out of here.
Sorry. It would just disrupt my plans.
Disrupt it? What plans? Now, you come on, Eric. Untie me.
No, freeing you right now would just mess things up for me.
You're calling me a messer-up. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm only saying that as long as we play along with them, they are very likely to lead us to Sam Dixie.
Oh, Hunter, let me tell you something. You're loco. You're just plain loco. If Chad and Joe was here, they'd have me untied in a minute.
They are? Out there somewhere. I left instructions for them to stay undercover until we need them. No, you do what I tell you and go back to sleep, huh?
Well, I ain't doing what you're telling me, and I ain't going to go back to sleep. No, sirree, I ain't. I'm just going to sit here, and I'm going to figure some way to get out of here, and when I do, Hunter, so help me out.
Idea taking the gag off his mouth.
Well, the man was having a difficult time sleeping that way. Or rather, I was. It was causing him to snore rather loudly.
I didn't hear him.
Well, how would you know? You were sound asleep.
Anyway, there is no reason for the gag in his mouth, gentlemen. I wonder very much if he could summon any help from way out here.
I don't need to holler for no help. But you kids will need help, and you can bet on that. Just keep playing bad men till somebody gets hurt, and then you'll see. And if you had an ounce of brains, you'd tell them to give themselves up. Just a bunch of little kids with big ideas, and that they're going
No. Sometimes the little ones with the big ideas can accomplish more than you are willing to give them credit for. Now, you take those little ants down there. Now, you can't get any tinier than that. But when they set their minds to doing something, there is nothing in the world that can stop them.
You can step on them.
Sorry, boys. I guess you were right in the first place.
Now, Hunter, I tell you what to tell. Hunter, I tell you, Hunter, take the gag off.
The Dixie gang again. Even the governor's starting to ask some questions. Put this on the telegraph to Riley and Cooper in Fremont. Dixie gang still at large. Stop. Assume you unable to make contact. Stop. Safe delivery of the Larson payroll urgent. Stop. And confident this job you can handle. Sign it, Parmalee, Company B, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If I ever hear anybody even whistle, Dixie, I'll shoot him.
I still feel like a darn fool, acting like I did.
There's no use kicking your own tail, Sheriff. Man hasn't been born yet that didn't wind up standing around with a leg on his face.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what are we going to do about Eric's note now that we got this thing?
Orders are orders, Chad. Captain wants us to ride shotgun on that stage to the Larson lumber camp. That's what we'll do.
Mighty big payroll riding with you.
You know, I'll bet you Sam Dixie knows exactly how much, right down to the penny.
What time's that stage due to leave, Sheriff?
Oh, in about an hour. Give or take a few minutes.
We'll be there. See you then.
Want to get our gear, Chad?
Whoa, wait a minute now. I don't recollect offhand collecting a salary as your hired hand.
Well, now, Chad, one of us has got to leave a note for Eric Hunter, telling him why we can't oblige him.
Mm-hmm. And just where do you intend to leave such a note?
You know, I think I'll find myself the prettiest little gal in town, and knowing Eric Hunter as you do, Chad, that's probably just where he'll head for when he gets back.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if your taste in women doesn't match up with his taste in women?
Well, he won't get to know, will he? Well, I've had myself one heck of a time.
He's learning.
Now, you look like a bright little lad. Now, why don't you just pound some sense into these
You
friends
keep
of yours,
talking
you know?
when you eat, then we're going to have to get you a bib.
We're going to be moving out later today. We'll need a couple of more horses and a pack mule to carry our supplies and stuff.
Yeah, for all that loot you've been stealing. Now, why don't you boys just turn yourselves in and return it, huh? And I promise you, I'll talk to Captain Parmley.
How do you intend to get the horses and pack mule?
Well, now, you're some outlaw. They intend to steal them, that's what.
I am well aware of that, my good man. I was only trying to ascertain if there was a definite plan in mind.
I am not your good man.
I wouldn't make any plans for getting out just yet. Dave, you and Mitch keep an eye on the prisoner. Rest of us going into Fremont. We'll figure out something on the way to town. Come on.
Honey, you're not going to leave me... Are you going to leave me tied up here?
Don't go away now.
Oh, I'm telling you, I was... I'm a ring. Oh.
You did leave that message for Eric in case he comes back to town, didn't you?
Oh, now, how do you like that? Well, that little girl was so pretty, and she occupied my mind so much.
Bet you forgot.
No, as a matter of fact, I remembered just as I was leaving, so I pinned it to her.
What?
Well, don't worry. Where I pinned it, he'll find it. Get up, man.
Let's go.
How are we going to get the horses and mule in broad daylight, Mac?
Well, it's easy enough to see that Matt planned on you two fellows sneaking the horses and mule out of the stable, while I keep the owner occupied so he doesn't notice. Right, Matt?
Exactly. If you had given me a chance to open my mouth, I was going to say just that.
Well, I just figured the time was of the essence. Give me a few minutes, huh?
He sure got a good head in his shoulders.
What are you talking about? It was my idea, wasn't it? Come on.
Anybody in?
Can I help you?
Yes, I believe you can, Mr.
McClory's the name.
Mr. McClory, you look like a man I can trust. You can be trusted, can't
Well,
you?
I sure can. The name McClory's been a respected name in Fremont for more than 30 years. Why, my daddy was...
Yes, I'm sure of that. Well, sir, I'm about to ask you to do a most important favor to your state and country.
Ah, what's that?
I am entrusting you with a message that has to be sent to Laredo immediately.
Oh, what kind of a message?
It's official. To Captain Parmley at Rangers headquarters.
You, a Texas Ranger? Well, I'll be. Well, don't worry. You can count on me. Why can't you send this message yourself?
I am being watched by bandits. They think that I am one of them. Now remember, this is top secret. It's just between you and me. By the way, they just stole 2 of your horses and a pack mule.
They what?
But don't worry about it. Here is an IOU for all they owe you. Please send off that telegram as quickly as you can, huh?
Reese Bennett. Yes, sir, Mr. Bennett, sir. It'll tapped out right away.
Came off smooth as silk. You're a pretty good outlaw, Mr. Hunter.
It's Matt's idea.
You just leave it to Dixie. Hey! Hey!
Well, the least you could do is let me get a little closer to the fire. This wind's starting to give me the shivers.
Guess it'd be okay, as long as his hands and feet are still tied. Never be able to show him off to Matt's cousin Sam if he got pneumonia and died.
Boy, this is the coldest spot I ever did see in my whole born days. Maybe you boys will start to listen to a little reason. You just can't go around robbing and stealing all the time. Oh, it's cold.
Okay, you can crawl in closer to the fire now.
Oh.
But no funny business.
Hey, that's some kind of weapon you got there. You boys figure old Sam Dixie could use about a half a dozen slingshots, huh?
Dave can knock the rattles off a rattlesnake at 30 feet.
Well, now, that's going to come in mighty handy when you boys start helping old Sam Dixie robbing up stagecoaches and holding up banks. I want to thank you boys for letting me come up to the fire and warm up. It's sure getting cold, I'll tell you that. It sure is. Hey, what was that, huh?
What was that?
Well, sounds to me like there's somebody back there.
Matt! Matt, that you?
Dave! Hey, Dave! That's you! Dave! Dave! The ranger! He got himself free!
Well, now, there ain't no sense in yelling. Hey, Midge. Come on back here, will you? Come on back. I ain't gonna hurt you. Hey, Midge! Hey, Midge! Hang on! Close, huh? But you're gonna be all right now. All right.
That's more than you can say for yourself. Well. A ranger, huh? Now, ain't that something?
You gonna shoot that gun, you'd better do it now, because when I get free...
Gosh, ain't we brave? Making threats. And tied up nicer than a turkey on a Thanksgiving platter.
Well, what are you waiting for?
That's right, Sam. Why waste time? Why don't you plug him now before he chews my ear off with all that fancy talk of his?
And spoil all the fun. You got no patience, Mace. Half the fun of killing the likes of Fat Boy here is making him sweat a little.
You don't see me shaking in my boots, do you?
You will, Ranger. You will.
Cousin Sam! It's me, Matt. Matt Dixie.
So you're the one that's been riding all over the country boasting you was my next of kin.
Sure am. Ain't everyone who has a relative as famous as you.
Who's he?
He's all right. Name's Eric Hunter. Been looking to join up with you like the rest of us.
Oh, he has, huh? Like the rest of us? What do you mean, the rest of us?
Sure. Me and my gang. What's so funny?
4 scrawny kids?
I wouldn't sell them short quite so fast. They're a pretty rugged bunch.
Don't remember asking you for your opinion, mister.
Hunter. Eric Hunter, at your service.
Maybe. We'll see about that.
You dressed up pretty fancy, ain't you, boy?
Well, I wasn't aware that sloppiness such as yours was an occupational requirement.
Right.
Now, Mace. Remember what I said about patience. Besides, like the man says, you don't have to be a pig to rob a bank.
Unless he robs a piggy bank.
Shut up, you.
We're gonna join up, Sam, huh?
Join up? Me and my gang? You've been kicked in the head, boy. Now, what do I want with 4 scrawny kids?
We took the ranger.
That you did. And he just might come in right handy, too. But as for the rest of you, beat it.
But I told them.
You heard me. I said get out of here, all of you.
But I promised him.
You don't hear, good boy. Get out of here.
Come on, Matt. We ain't wanted around here.
Now, you listen to him. He's a right smart boy. Beat it.
And I thought you was the greatest.
You thought right, son. But get out of here. On foot. The horses and everything else stays here.
The horses belong to the kids.
If you want to stay here and keep breathing, mister, you keep your mouth shut. Dixie does all the talking around here. And when Dixie talks, everybody listens, mister. I mean, everybody listens to Dixie. Mace. Have the boys sack out for a few hours. We've got some hard riding to do.
We going after that stage?
Of course not. That's what they expect us to do. And if there's one thing that Sam Dixie don't do, is what other people expect him to do.
Well, Sam, I was just thinking that...
Mace, don't think. Huh? As a matter of fact, don't even let your mind wander. It's too small to be out by itself. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let them deliver the payroll to the lumber camp. Then, when they think that all their troubles are over, we're going to show them that they've just begun.
Well, we're going to knock off that ranger first, aren't we?
Mace, you're thinking again. He's our shield. You don't think they're going to take a shot at us if we're holding a gun on a ranger walking in front of us, do you? After we get the money, you can blow a hole in him as big as a barrel. And Mace, keep your eye on Fancy Pants. He don't add up.
All right.
They're all asleep, all right.
Okay, now's when we make our move. Dave, you and Pete can crawl in and get our stuff. Midge and I'll make for the horses. Come on.
What about the ranger, Matt? That Mr. Bennett. They're gonna kill him. And, well, I owe him something. He saved my life.
You could have just left Midge and ran away.
Too risky trying to get him out here. Come on, we'll think of something.
Where's the rest of this stuff? This is all we could find in the dark. Lampshade, birdseed, this thing, and the fireworks.
Fireworks? Hey, they might come in handy after all.
A little early for the 4th of July, ain't it?
You dumbbell.
Well, look who's paying a midnight social call.
Sorry about the late hour, but it's my first chance to drop in and say hello.
Yeah, well, the way things are going, I'm beginning to think that we're going to be saying goodbye.
Not just yet. Do you think we can take those 2 guards without waking up the whole camp?
Are you kidding? I'd like nothing more than to take them both on myself.
Listen, the idea is to do it quietly. Now, once we get their guns, the whole thing will be easy.
Well, what are you waiting for? The U.S. cavalry? Come on.
for Sam and the rest of the boys.
You say we could borrow a couple of horses?
Yeah, and he'll take the stage back.
Good.
You know, it sure is strange, Sam Dixie not taking a crack at that payroll.
Hmm.
It's not like him to pass up that kind of money.
You know,
Thanks a lot, Pard.
I bet I know what happened, though. I bet Sam Dixie saw you and me up on that stagecoach and got so scared that he just didn't want to risk it.
There's a humble way of putting it, too, Chad.
Hmm.
Like maybe Sam Dixie and his gang aren't anywhere in this area.
Well, that could be. Maybe they're pulling a job someplace else. Now, does that make you think what I'm thinking?
A mighty slim thought for two brains to be sitting on.
Yeah.
Maybe Hunter's note meant that,
Bank in Fremont. While we're suckered out here guarding a payroll, he's got the whole town to himself.
except for Eric, and he thinks we're backing him up. Only we're not.
We're not going to be doing him much good here. Maybe we best get back.
You sure you know what you're doing, Matt? You just leave it to Well, we gotta try to do something, don't we?
But stopping Dixie and his gang?
Like that Hunter fella said, even ants get things done if they set their minds to it.
Now, I would suggest you don't shoot at us as we leave. Unless, of course, you want to put some bullets in these two, Texas Rangers. If not, I suggest you comply peacefully. It would be the most intelligent thing to do, gentlemen.
Not really. You intend to shoot us in the back afterwards anyway.
Why take offense to that, Mr. Hunter?
If I said anything to offend you, I'm delighted.
You must have been a terror hiding behind your mother's skirts, Dixie.
We're wasting time. Move.
Where'd you come from?
Out of the woodwork.
Well, here, cut me loose. Come on.
On your feet.
Whoa, now.
Just where in the blue blazes have you been?
Well, we've just been a little busy chasing down Dixie and his gang.
And I suppose this is them, huh?
Of course not, you bonehead. They help. That's more than I can say for you. Chad, Joe, I want you to meet Dave here, Pete, Little Midge, and this here is Matt Dixie.
Did you say Dixie?
You heard me the first time.
Oh, what happened to Sam?
Oh, well, Sam, he's on his way to the Clay City jail with Harry. Now, Matt and the boys here, they're gonna go back to Laredo with us, and they're gonna return all them odds and ends they took from Morgan's store when they were leading a life of crime. And, well, once we get that straightened out, why, we'll find some decent homes for them to be raised in, huh?
And you fellas seen Mr. Bennett?
Bennett, that's me, right here.
Oh, you ain't Reese Bennett.
Well, I ain't never been nobody else. Now's that paper for me?
For Ranger Bennett.
Well, that just happens to be me. Now, come on. I owe you for 2 horses and 1 mule. I never did that my whole life. Never.
Well, your name's on it, Reese.
Well, my name may be on it, but I want to tell you that ain't my writing.
Most usually he signs an X.
I do not. That's a forgery. That's what it is. And I'll tell you this, I ain't paying for it. I ain't going to pay for this. And you find a fella that signed it, and you get him to pay for it because it's a forgery. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you right now, I ain't going to pay for it. You get the man who signed this, and you make him pay for it.
Well, that ain't any of my business. You fight it out with that other...
Boy, how am I going to fight someone when I don't know who that someone is? Now, you just tell me that, huh?
He was a ranger, and he was dressed kind of fancy.
It was Hunter.
So long, Reese.
Hey, Chad.
See you back in Laredo.
Hey, come on back here. Come on back. Hey, now there, Little Mitch. What do you got there? What are you doing with them horses, huh?
From McClory's stable, while you and him was talking.
Oh, you. Hey, McClory. Come here. Take these horses, will you? Go on, take them. Well, now, boy, let me tell you something, will you? If you're gonna start on a new road in life, the best way to do it's on your own 2 feet.
Come on.